Hello, everybody. Welcome to Daily Distinction. Glad that you are here. Thanks for joining me on a Monday. I just noticed I meant to change this. I was joking around here about the background, and look, it is a beautiful Hawaii background. How about that? Isn't that nice? And so I was doing that yesterday on the Ken and Glenn show with a guy named Scott that we had. But I also, now where'd it go? I downloaded something a little bit more appropriate, but I don't see it here on my downloads. Where is it? It is not there. Well, darn it, I'll have to do it some other time. I downloaded a picture of Las Vegas, so I was going to have the strip there behind me, but I don't have it now. So sorry about that. How is everybody doing today? I should have had that prepared. Great to see you. Hey, Scott, thanks for being with us last night on the Ken and Glenn show. Ted is in the house, and you're in for UBS, Ted. Yay! Big round of applause for Ted. He is going to be part of our virtual Ultimate Business Summit that's going on. I'm really glad to hear that. Ken, great to see you. That was a great conversation last night. We had a great evening last night on our show. Really appreciate that. Bottle of water in hand. We're ready to go, Brian. I'm caffeinated up here today, I got to tell you. So I'll join you with a little coffee. So that's what's going on. Pam, great to see you. Happy Monday. Charles from moderately warm Silicon Valley. Matter of fact, Tammy is feeling a little bit better today. Thanks for asking. She's, she's not 100%, not out of the woods yet, but she's doing much better. Bonnie, yay! Bonnie, big round of applause for Bonnie, who will be with us at the Ultimate Business Summit virtually. That's exactly what it is. Good eye. That's exactly what it is. For Vegas, we could just I could just show a thermometer. I just look. It's cooling off, Charles. It's 106. Right now, we got to 113 officially yesterday, so it's been a warm one. Yeah, something, Bonnie. I think I'd rather see the Hawaii background than the than the picture of the strip. Yeah, the Black Maui T-shirt. I needed to have that on with that coastline. You're right, Pam. That's what I was wearing over the weekend. Hey, Scott, I was on a conference call. I saw where you did a viewing party this morning. I'm sorry I missed that. I love hearing what you had to say, and I'll catch it on replay. So looking forward to that. Yeah, Ken, we really had a good time last night. That was really a terrific show. There you go. Relief. Randall, tax is done. And thank you about that for Tammy. I'm very happy about that as well, Brian. Thank you very much. And happy Monday, Darcy, to you in Fishers, Indiana as well. Hope everything is going great. By the way, if you're watching and you're not a regular viewer here, we have the Ultimate Business Summit coming up August 13th and 14th. Go to ultimatebusinesssummit.com to register. It's only $97 until June 20th, or you get $100 off the VIP registration. So we've got some great things going on there, and we'll have more on that for you a little bit later on this week as we talk about the Ultimate Business Summit coming up a little bit later on this week. We'll catch up with Larry or Randy again and get a chance to do that a little bit later on. So anyway, I've got something I want to talk to you about in terms of something that happened to me last night. And I'm not trying to, I'll show you this here. This is a response that I got from Uber. And it's just so doggone infuriating. Okay, so we did the Ken and Glenn show with a guy named Scott last night, and Tammy's not feeling well, so I ordered a meal out. I have been cooking most of the time while she's been here, and I ordered chicken on the Barbie from Outback Steakhouse, one of my favorite get it delivered kind of meals, right? So I order it, and I'm helping Tammy and everything, and I check. And we ordered, placed the order at 6:50, and it said it would be delivered by 7:50 on the app. That's a little longer than it normally takes, but hey, it's Sunday evening. You probably a lot of folks, okay, everything going on. Okay, so about 15 minutes later, it delays the order from 7:50 to 8:15. Well, it's still a long time, but then it pops up and says delivery. And then I got this error message, and it said, it's taking us longer than usual to find a driver to deliver the order. Now it goes to like 8:45. Okay, so that's 2 hours to get the meal. So now I'm going, okay, do you cancel that order and order something else, or do you? And at 9:15, and we didn't place another order because that's what I really wanted, and Tammy's not feeling good. So, a chicken breast from Outback, that sounds pretty good, right? It's something she could eat. So at 9:15, we just get a thing that your order is canceled. Now that's frustrating because we didn't place another order. We didn't place it with another service. I didn't run out and do a pickup because they had promised something. We've talked about this in the book Iconic. They had promised something, a delivery that we didn't get. They let us down. Businesses make mistakes. People make mistakes. I get that. I understand that. You don't want it, but it happens. There's a client right now that I'm dealing with that didn't get everything that she had been promised by me. And that's my fault. And I am working with her to not only make it right, but try to overserve. That's my goal, because I screwed up. And people make mistakes. But are you willing to say, okay, I made a mistake and I'm going to fix this for my customer? That's absolutely critical. Oh, Ken says, glad you're feeling better, Tammy. At 106, burning everything. Oh, aren't you the sweetest? I don't know about being a fat. Off the subject, but got to tell you real quick. Thanks to my friend JJ Virgin, recommended we get an air fryer. So Tammy and I order this air fryer. So then Tammy gets sick. So I've got this air fryer. I have made us a filet in the air fryer. Holy cow, those things are good. And it just tells you how long to set it for, and you set it, and it's done, and your filet is done the way you want it, and it's just great. So I don't know that I'm a fabulous cook, but I can follow a recipe, right? I can hit the right button. And Tam, you're exactly right. That I've done the show. She isn't feeling good, and so what do? We order from Outback through Uber Eats because it's already prepared. But now it's running so late. And it made it sound on the app like the order was done. They just didn't have anybody pick it up. All right. So that's, Charles, you're exactly right. Overpromise and underdeliver. Never good. Okay. So businesses make mistakes. Everything makes mistakes. I am not doing this to try to get $5 off an Outback meal. I just want us all to learn from the example. So now I post on Twitter that I'm disappointed with what's going on with Outback. And so then Outback sends a response. And the response from Outback is kind of interesting. It's like, we definitely understand your concerns here. It looks like, now here's what got me. It looks like your delivery driver couldn't complete the delivery. Well, now let's stop and think about that language for just a little bit. This is what they're saying to me. It looks like your delivery driver couldn't complete the delivery. Now, remember what I said. The app always said that the food was still sitting at Outback. Why couldn't the delivery driver complete the delivery? Well, first of all, the customer could have something to do with that, right? If I didn't get my address in properly, then the delivery driver couldn't complete the delivery. If you live in a gated community, you might have failed to give the right gate code so the driver could punch it in and get through, or you didn't notify the guard at the gate so that the driver could get through. You might be sitting in the back not paying attention, and the driver didn't want to leave the meal on your drive. There's a number of reasons in which the customer could be involved in that situation, right? I mean, when you say it that way, there's a lot of reasons that it didn't happen, and the customer could be a part of that. That's what kind of turned my crank about what they were saying there, because it says it looks like your delivery driver couldn't complete the delivery. That's why the delivery doesn't mean. Now, get this next line. Take a look at the next line here. You haven't been charged for this order. Okay, so you didn't do what you were getting paid to do, and now you're making a point that you're not charging me because you didn't do what you said you would do. Like that's supposed to be? Of course I'm not charged for that. Are you kidding me? Of course I'm not charged for that. Why make a point of saying, hey, you didn't get what you ordered and we're not going to charge you for it? Of course you're not going to charge me for it. That's ridiculous. So then I sent them a response, and now they send me another email or another thing on Twitter. And look, your order from Zest Bistro and Bar could not be delivered. That was on Thursday. And that order was delivered. It was delivered, and we ate the order and really liked it. So they're sending the wrong receipt about what they sent. Oh, and here was thank you for your response. We are sorry to hear your order was canceled at 6:49 Pacific Daylight Time. No, it wasn't. That's when it was ordered, not when it was canceled. That's wrong. And they say, once again, it looks like your delivery driver had some trouble. We understand this may be convenient, but rest assured, you were not charged for the order. Like, again, they're doing me a big favor. First of all, they haven't taken responsibility for the mistake they made. Second, they're acting like it's a favor that they're not charging me because of their mistake. This is what's wrong with business. This is a significant aspect of what's wrong with business. And Kit, yes, they are struggling to keep drivers, but it ought to be a time. It ought to be a time. When have we ever needed food delivery more than we need it now? When have we ever needed, and something, at least here in Vegas, and obviously your responses are colored by your personal experiences. But because with Tammy being sick and I'm quarantining myself because I've been exposed, we've ordered groceries from Instacart, and man, they are always fabulous. It's always been perfect and right there and excellent. So here's, yeah, well, there you go, Ken. I'm not trying to say, I'm not doing this so it gets online and I get $5 off a meal. I mean, that's not it. It's something we all need to learn from. So when they're saying it looks like the driver had difficulty, it's not taking responsibility. Yeah, Jerry, I am. This stuff frustrates me more than it's not the mistake. That's the key to this, okay? It's not the mistake. Everybody screws up. Everybody makes a mistake. It happens with all of us, right? And more often than not, Uber Eats has gotten the meal to us. But what gets me is this. I think that businesses and the leaders of those businesses, and by that I mean you and me, all of us, we've got to take responsibility. But let's break down that word for just a minute. When we talk about taking responsibility, that is response. How are we going to respond? And what is our ability to do so? Now, look, none of us, I'm guessing, that's listening or watching right now, none of us have a business as big as Uber. But they can't use that as an excuse because they have incredible resources at their disposal to be able to deliver more resources than I've got or you have. It's just that this response is incorrect and they're not utilizing their ability to deliver. You know what they said? If they would have just said, Scott, we are so sorry that next one is buy one, get one free in the entree. Or, hey, we didn't deliver last night properly from Outback. What does it take to get you dinner tonight from Outback? You know, no tip, right? Or it's not what was being offered. It was that nothing was offered at all. Nothing. Or one of the things I've taught for a long time is, a lot of times if you ask the customer what would make this right, what they respond with is much less than what you're going to offer. They could have come back and said, hey, dinner's on us tonight because we screwed it up last night. But if they would have said to me, what do you really want? You know what I really wanted? I wanted somebody to say, we dropped the ball. We're sorry. Where in that do they apologize because they didn't deliver what they had promised? That's what we want more than anything. That's what we want more than anything at all. Charles, we've heard all sorts of complaints about Uber Eats and other companies sharing meals. We decided I'll drive. Yeah. Oh, that's funny. Just have the driver ask for 2 straws because you don't want to share yours, right? I never even thought of that, Charles. I never even thought of that. Maybe there's an Uber driver out there somewhere that really enjoyed his chicken on the Barbie last night, right? Brian, it's a classic example of what the norm is. And when someone over delivers, yeah, exactly. Brian, in the research that I did for Iconic, that is one of the things that really got me more than anything, is one of the things that is an essential part of being iconic is simply, you do what you said you would do when you said you would do it. That's it. When the promise and the performance are congruent, that's what we want. That's what we want. Just do what you said you would do when you said you would do it. Jeff, there you go. Just own your mistake and just do whatever it takes to rectify it. I wasn't looking for a disc. I'm not trying to, I just want him to go, something, we didn't have enough drivers and your meal didn't get picked up and we are really sorry. And we will do better next time. Sorry that you sat at home for 2 hours waiting on food to arrive, right? We ended up throwing a frozen pizza in the oven and there you go. So, but yes, Kit, exactly. The money is not the factor here. It is totally the experience. And that's all we're looking for. Sonia, yeah, it's just that somebody cares. California states ruined the business model because drivers have to be employees. Yeah, I've been following that, Charles. That's really interesting. Way off the subject, and it also strikes me, I've never understood, do you know in the WWE that all the wrestlers are independent contractors? How do they get away with that? I'm just curious. I have no idea how to get away with that, because part of independent contracting is that you could perform that service for other entities, that they don't have an exclusive right. I can't imagine, if John Cena would want to go wrestle someplace else, that they'd say that's okay. I don't know how do they, and yet in California, what is an independent contractor? Because I can drive for Uber and Lyft and DoorDash and everybody else. It's just fascinating to see what's happening there. Brian, taking responsibility for the whole experience. Yes, absolutely. And what, you hit the nail on the head too. What's Uber Eats doing? Well, the driver, couldn't complete the delivery, which might include me. It is right, Jerry. It's the principle. The mother said to the little boy, why don't you like school? He said, Mom, it's not school that I hate. It's the principle of the thing. Right? So it's the definition of integrity. Did they or did they not live up to their word? And there you go. To me, they did not live up to the word. By the way, let me show you a little ending to this here too. Notice at the bottom it says, we appreciate you bringing this to our attention. We encourage you to continue working with our email support team to help provide you with the best support possible. Does that look like that was written by a machine to you? Just such little personal engagement. Look, again, it's not about my dinner last night. That's not That is just the metaphor, just the example of how we need to make certain that we have the proper response and that we have the ability to respond. And when it goes wrong, you know what it is? It's response disability. It's not responsibility. It's a response disability. It is the disability that somehow we have set it up improperly in terms of how we're going to respond to a situation. Your customers want to know that you not only are willing to have the proper response. So in other words, as you look at this, these are not the right responses. So you got to get your response better. And then you have to have the ability to deliver on that so that you are dealing what you've promised. Yes, Kit wrote answers made the experience worse. Please stay in touch. Why is it my job to teach you how you ought to be serving your customers, Uber? There's a lot of nice companies that's paid me for that. I don't need to do it for you for free because you've got a lot more money than I'll ever have. Right? I mean, it's so frustrating. They've set the bar for low expectations. Yes, absolutely. Hey, Sheila, hope you're doing well. Glad to see you here today. So what does this mean to us? I mean, in our businesses. And I want to get back to what we've talked about in terms of there's only two things that customers evaluate you on. Only two. And the two are promise and performance. That's it. I mean, there's been tons of speeches given and books written and courses prepared on all these things about, hey, it's just two things. Now, it doesn't mean those two are easy. They're simple, but they aren't easy. Those of you that are golfers, hey, a golf swing, the mechanics are simple. But it ain't easy to make the ball do what you want it to, right? So just because something's simple doesn't mean that something is easy. Singing is simple. You know, you force the air through your diaphragm out through your throat to make the noises, but try to sing like Barbara Streisand, Beyonce, whoever, right? I mean, it's incredibly difficult. So just because something is simple doesn't mean it's easy. But this is simple. What do you promise your customers? And how do you perform? What do you do? Did you do what you said you would do when you said you would do it, how you said you would do it, in a manner that's consistent and is reliable? That's Brian brought up the word integrity. That's integrity. When you do what you say you would do when you said you would do it. That's all we want. And by the way, if you don't, and again, we get that people mess up. We're human beings. I mean, none of us are going to get through this without messing things up. And goodness only knows I've got huge tolerance for mistakes. I just told you about one I just made. I mean, we make mistakes. And especially when you're dealing with people, you know, I mean, think about that whole process. Is you order something from a restaurant and somebody takes that order and then hands it to somebody else. That somebody else cooks the food and bags it, prepares it. Then somebody else, you know, has it up front ready for the delivery person to pick up. Oh, the delivery person's got to know where to go and when to and pick it up and then know where to deliver it. And I mean, there's so many moving parts involved. Obviously, there's things that get messed up. Whatever it is that you do, there are things that we can drop the ball. I get that. Now, don't get me wrong. We should demand a lot of ourselves, right? I think it was Chris Rock lately said that there are some jobs that we have a right to demand perfection. You know, Delta can't come out and go, 98% of our pilots are absolutely fantastic, to kind of like, running into mountains or ditching it in the ocean. But that's only 2%. Somebody had a statistic a while back. I wish I had it, but it was on if 0.1% of flights got messed up, it would mean that every day a plane trying to go to O'Hare would crash every day. Right? So, I mean, we have a right to hope for and demand and expect perfection in some areas. We all know we're human, but hey, if the air traffic controllers can do it, how come Uber can't do it? Interesting. But anyway, my point is I get that people make mistakes, but then once you make the mistake, then what happens next? Then what happens? Remember I was talking earlier about one of the most important questions we can ask is, and then what? Uber hasn't done that. Don't be like Uber, right? In other words, Uber should say, okay, if an order doesn't get picked up, and then what? What if they just sent me a text? They sent me a text about the order being canceled. What if they just sent a text and said, Mr. Kane, we're having problems with delivery. There's not somebody available. If you would like to go to Outback and pick up your order, we'll discount that order. Saves them a driver, saves me the tip. Lets me get my food. What if they've been proactive like that? But they never said, and then what? Or, Mr. McCain, we don't have anybody in the area of Outback. We're unable to get a driver there. But if you'd like to order from these 5 restaurants, we have drivers in the area. We can get it to you very quickly if you order from one of the. Okay. And then what? One of the most powerful questions you can say is, and then what? A customer calls with a problem. And then what? How do we take responsibility? How do we resolve it? What do we do? When you start asking those kinds of questions, you're really on the path of creating a higher level of experience and a higher level of service. And then what? And if you can't answer that precisely, you aren't prepared enough. And then what? Sheila's been trying to get last week, get in touch with Holiday Inn. Oh, there you go. See, you're just trying to. It's so frustrating sometimes, isn't it? It is so frustrating. Brian, well, let's hope so. I appreciate that. Thank you. If we just need to do that. Oh, good. See, Sheila, there you go. Not only did they not do it right, they double charged her account. It's human decency that we seem to be missing out on a bit, isn't it? It's just that we're so anxious to put everything on a bot. We're so anxious to just, make everything that we need to be human, right? I mean, seriously, didn't our parents teach us that? If you make a mistake, fess up. You get in more trouble. Richard Nixon learned that. You get in more trouble for the cover up than the crime. That's what gets me about this thing. If they just said, man, we are so sorry, even if they wouldn't have offered anything, just say, man, we dropped the ball on this one. We have appreciated your business in the past, and we weren't up to our standards this time, and we really hope you'll stay a great customer. But that's all it takes. We're going to keep fighting the good fight. Bonnie, thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you for taking time to be here today. And I know you and your team do such a great job up there in the Chicagoland area. That's awesome. So if you're just tuning in, what's really important? Well, the round trip is that, first off, we got to take responsibility, right? We're going to mess up in business and in life. We're going to mess up. Okay. We got to take responsibility. See, that's the combination of response. How do we respond? And do we have the ability to do what it takes to solve the problem? Yes, we do. I mean, if we created that problem, like a delivery, like a whatever, we got the ability to resolve that problem, right? However, if we don't, that's response disability. That's what happens when it goes wrong, is a response disability. And that is what we have to avoid. A final reminder before we're done for the day is that the Ultimate Business Summit is August 13th and 14th. All you need to go to ultimatebusinesssummit.com. Until July 20th, it's $97. That's it for the entire program. Virtual program, $97. No plane ticket to buy, no hotel rooms to reserve, no meals out that you got to worry about. Just $97 to attend the Ultimate Business Summit. Almost 2 days packed with Larry Winget and Randy Pennington and me, and also outside great speakers. Joe Calloway that wrote Keep It Simple, going to be talking about how to simplify your business and your life. Mark Sanborn on the Fred Factor. What does it take to get ultimate performance out of every employee? Lisa Ford that wrote the world's biggest selling customer service training program. Wow. And if you sign up for the VIP program, Simon Bailey, who was an executive at the Disney Institute, is going to talk about the Disney way of doing all this. Yeah, it's so exciting. So take a look at ultimatebusinesssummit.com. It's August 13th and 14th. It's one of the things I'd love to have everybody there. Yeah, exactly. If you're watching the Ultimate Business Summit, just call Uber Eats. They'll get it. They'll get it right there. There you go. If you make a mistake, take responsibility. Lying about it, fudging on it, only makes it worse. It only makes it worse. Worth it to keep a current customer rather than searching for new ones. Make things right. A kit that is so on target, right? I mean, I order from them a lot. Keep the business. Keep the business. I love that, Sonia. Honor is a powerful word, and it is something we need to focus on. So on my honor, I promise I'll be back here tomorrow. I hope you will be too. We'll see you tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific, for our next edition of Daily Distinction. Thanks so much for watching. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for the replay viewers watching this as well. It's really important, and I really appreciate it. We'll talk to you tomorrow. See you soon.